Today, I'm extremely excited to introduce you to my two guests, Claudio and Lucio, both co-founders at mpDAO. mpDAO is one of the largest liquid staking protocols on Near and has roughly over 150 million staked Near, and I think also including a few other assets. And we are also super excited that we joined recently the mpDAO Enterprise Node Program as a validator, and obviously we'll also support the Near ecosystem and mpDAO more going forward. And Claudio is an OG in the crypto space and also very big in the Latin community, I guess Lucio as well. So hey guys, how are you guys doing? And how's the bull market treating you?
Hey Serge, how you doing? It's like we had a saying internally, right? Like happy all-time highs, right? Even though corrections are happening. But anyhow, glad to be here, Serge.
I checked the BTC number and it starts with a 7, at least a couple of hours ago. So everybody's happy.
Everything is good with the 7. Right. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for taking your time, guys. And I just wanted to quickly, before we dive into Near and mpDAO and so on, I just wanted to quickly understand, what is your background, Claudio and Lucio? How did you both guys get into crypto, and what actually convinced you in the end to build on top of Near? Maybe just very briefly.
Yeah, so actually we got together because we met at the Discord server, Near Protocol Discord server, more than 4 years ago. So that's how everything got started. Wow. It was pre-pandemic, and was basically me asking in Discord. I had the opportunity to participate in the Near Protocol coin list offering. So that was how I got started on Near. But then I said, hey, where can I go and delegate my Near? And so I went in and asked, hey, who's building and maybe running a node? And then I would like to contribute to that project. And so that's how I met. And somebody pointed me to Lucio. And we actually got started that way. Background on me is more than 20 years building software. The last 8 years, I've been as a head of product on different SaaS companies. And so it's always been product, very much consumer facing and B2B, and negotiating with the big guys, Salesforce, Atlassian, Zendesk, Freshworks, and all in the works. So basically, my role in mpDAO is I'm in charge of partnerships, fundraising, growth, and product-led growth initiatives. So that's my background. Lucio?
Right. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm the technical side. I'm the technical co-founder here. I've been coding for more than 3 decades, so I'm really, really old for the space, but I love the space.
A real OG.
Yes. No. A real OG is somebody minting Bitcoin and buying a pizza with 10,000 Bitcoin. But I'm a real OG of coding, if you like. I'm old for the space only. Really old, age old. I remember in several. I have been attending several hacker houses, and people start asking, okay, whose founder is above 30 years old? Whose founder is about 25? So they go from 30 to down. So I'm from 30 to up. I've been coding for a lot, and I decided to jump into crypto. I'm also based in Argentina. That's another reason to be full into crypto. Every Argentinian know exactly what a shitcoin is. We live in one. So if you came to Argentina and you work in Argentina and you live with pesos, you get a crash course on what a shitcoin is, and you get really, really fast into why crypto is a revolution. So here I have the good luck to meet Claudio. I think we were one of the 2 people speaking Spanish in the Near start, let's say, because when we meet Near wasn't even transferable. It was the first start of the mainnet, So we were building for a token even that wasn't transferable yet. So good old days. We had our bull run, we had our bear market, we survived our first bear market, and this will be our second bull run. I knock on wood if everything goes well.
Yeah,
So
that's
happy
good.
to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, the most important thing is obviously to surviving, and building through the bear. And I think that's what you guys did. I think you're right now much stronger and in a much better position as well. And also very cool with the Latin background. I mean, you guys also know Cryptocito, Michael, who's one of the co-founders and actually sort of the head of Stakecito and his own YouTube channel and so on. He's also one of our, Hispanic people, basically. Also big into the Latin community, and yeah, that's super exciting. I think this is also where the crypto revolution sort of makes a lot of sense given what you said about the currency.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So before we dive into Metapool, let's maybe talk a little bit about Near Protocol, because our listeners, they are a lot of them are coming from the Cosmos ecosystem, and they are also interested, obviously, to know and learn more about Near, given that Near also really makes some headlines the last past weeks and months. So maybe in very basic terms, could you maybe, Claudio, explain to us what is Near Protocol? Give a very very simple overview. Maybe also explain, what sharding means in that context.
Yeah, I'll go more through the why it makes sense, and then Lucio can go into a deep dive with the sharding stuff. So for us, is one of the best things about Near is that it has great SDK, right? So building on top of Near, it does have a little bit of a learning curve. You need to. It is a technology stack based on Rust. It doesn't use the whole Rust stack, so it's not like you need to know it from A to C, but you will need to have basis in Rust in order for you to build. And the background story behind it is I actually participated in most of the CoinList offerings from 2021, sorry. And and this was outside before collaborating with Lucio. I had a small team building on top of all this stacks, on all this technology, Blockstack, Celo, Solana, Rally, Mina, and a couple of them had this really tough, steep learning curve. And with Nears was really quite. It has this challenge because at the end of the day, you need to understand that there's no front end and back end. If you're coming from Web 2.0 and coming into Near or any other blockchain technology, you need to understand that you're always building on the back end, right? There's like the front end is there's minimal to do there, right? And it's all about building the smart contracts, putting them on mainnet, first on testnet, then mainnet. For us, what Near brings in is fast finality, right? It's like transactions are really, really fast. Gas fees are very low. And this allows smart contracts such as the liquid staking platform that we built to be just pennies on the dollar per transaction, right? And so that enables us to integrate seamlessly with other protocols, lending and borrowing dexes, right? And so this incentivizes a lot of activity on it, which is some of the news that has been pushed during the last couple of months, right? With a lot of accounts being created and a lot of activity on the network. Also one of the and just a small part here, right? So smart contracts can be allowed to earn on top of the transactions that are being made. Right now, it's fractions of a penny. But when this starts to scale, that will really bring in a lot of value to the builders in the ecosystem. Now, regarding sharding, right? So right now we're running on 2 shards, well, 4 shards actually, and then we're going to start to bump up into 6 shards now. So this allows more scalability for protocols and avoid congestion on the blockchain. This is not but saying that Near is unstoppable, right? In the sense that we had been having issues regarding transaction volume and some folks spamming the network, but it hasn't halted it, right? This is very important. It has diminished performance, but we haven't had this Solana situation, right? Where every transaction is failing, right?
Yeah.
And props to the Solana team as well. I don't want to throw them under the bus, right? Like scaling and growing at the scale that they've done, I tip up my hat to them, right? They're doing a good job, but sometimes it's not enough, right? And with this, with Near, we haven't faced that issue, even though we had that throughput of transactions there. And I think the most important part is there is an ecosystem that is opening up to not only B2B, right, the full-on DeFi, but also B2C, right, with the hot wallets, the Telegram bots, with DApp also coming in as well. So I think there's a lot of opportunities for builders to come into this space. There's still a lot of white space. So definitely for builders that are hearing us from other ecosystems that are Rust-based, I would incentivize them to have a look at Near. But Lucio, you can go deep dive into like sharding and scalability around the Near protocol.
Okay. I can start with a little anecdote. To be honest, you were referencing that we are part of Latam, and yes, being the place where you are somewhat conditions you. For example, I was following crypto since the early days. I remember trying to buy Bitcoin. I don't remember the time, but one Bitcoin was $400, so it was long ago.
Yep.
But of course, being in Argentina, my Argentinian credit card got completely laughed at. So I never bought that Bitcoin. I let that pass. After that, I let pass Ethereum. I think I saw the Ethereum launch in Hacker News, and okay, what is this? This will change the world. Looked like vaporware to me. So I keep going. I let it pass. So at some point, I said, okay, no, I was wrong. I should have insisted. I should have get into this. So I decided to jump into the next thing that for me was proof of stake. Remember, this is 2020, so Ethereum was proof of work.
Right.
And proof of stake was talked about, but it wasn't there yet. So I decided to jump. Yeah, I decided to jump in the first proof of stake sustainable chain that I saw, and that was Near. I saw Near and I saw Solana. Those two launched more or less at the same time. So I got an interest in both, but I jumped into Near, and then I get into the community and I start building, because what I do is build, and I end up building liquid staking. Liquid staking, the same thing that Lidl does, but specifically for Near. So and it was there. It was a nice contract. It was working. It has an awful front end, because we programmers do programmers front end that are awful things. but it was working. That's when I had the good luck to meet Claudio, and he was able to convert that into a real product and launch it. And we end up being the first liquid staking in Near. After that, I get into Solana also to study and learn Solana. And I ended up meeting some teams in a hackathon, and my idea was to migrate the Metapool infrastructure into Solana, and that ended up being Marinade Finance. Marinade Finance is also the first liquid staking of Solana. So I have a knowledge of Near, I have a knowledge of how Solana works, and I have a not such a deep knowledge of how Cosmos work. Near, let's go back to 2020. At that point, there were Ethereum killers. Do you remember? Everybody was looking for the Ethereum killer. And that has to do with Latam too. This is important for everybody listening outside of Latam or developing countries. $40 a transaction is a fortune here. So you cannot pay $40 a transaction. The reason I didn't jump into Ethereum is because I tested Ethereum with, I don't know, $5, $10 coins, whatever. And then I had like X amount of dollars into Ethereum, and it was more expensive to take it out than leave it there. I guess I have X amount of dollars still in Ethereum. So that's why I jumped into Near and Solana. Near, for people to understand, is one of the chain that is not using the AVM. That is just a very good definition. And they did something that they did it well. They created Ethereum 3.0 from the start. They have account abstraction. You can rotate keys. They have an asynchronous programming model. You code in Rust, like Claudio say, and they compile to WASM. And it's pretty simple to code in, if you like, and the account abstraction is incredible. For people that never went into NEAR, when you have a NEAR account, you have an account that is not a public key. It's not a big string of hexadecimal numbers. Is, for example, my account, for example, is luciotato.near. And inside that named account, that is account abstraction. You have the public keys that have, let's say, power over your account. But if you want, you can rotate them also. So you are not tied to a single particular private key.
Yep. No, I like that. I like that very much, and I think what you described, helps a lot. It's NEAR definitely it makes it. I mean, it's super fast. It's quite cheap. It makes it super easy for people basically to build applications there, and also just to get onboarded. The first time I onboarded myself onto NEAR, I feel like I didn't even use a wallet or something like that. It was like using email, getting onboarded very quick, not even changing the websites. I go from the NEAR front end to the Metapool front end, and it's all super smooth back and forth. And I guess that's maybe one of the reasons of how NEAR actually onboarded. I don't know. I read something like 100 million accounts or something like that. So it's a pretty huge number, right? And yeah, congratulations to that. I mean,
what NEAR did good in order to explain that 100 million accounts, to paint all the picture, the full picture for our listeners. What NEAR did good is they, for example, integrated with Sweat Economy. That was an application that had hundreds of millions of users, and Sweat Economy created Sweat Wallet, and that it's so easy to create an account and so cheap. Let's say to create an account on NEAR, and the transactions are so cheap that they were able to create a wallet for each user of Sweat Economy. So each user of Sweat Economy suddenly has a NEAR wallet. Also, I think they did the same for Kaching. I'm not so. I have not so much data there, but it is a very interesting, very, let's say, the NEAR team is very active, and to be honest, is quite a bunch of smart guys.
Yeah. No, I 100% believe that, and we can just see the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. NEAR surpassed 1 billion transactions, I think, as well. So really impressive numbers overall. And maybe Claudio, to you, what are some of the biggest narratives in your opinion, overall in crypto, but also playing out on NEAR right now? Where do you think NEAR stands overall in the ecosystem?
Yeah, so there's going to be a very interesting push in the next couple of months. There's definitely something cooking up for May, so we cannot disclose everything there, but just be on the lookout for that, and hopefully this is going to be published before that announcement.
Cool.
Not financial advice. Do your own research as well, right?
Always.
I think one of the most important parts here is, and this might seem trivial for folks, or a given, right? But right now, there's native USDC, USDT support on NEAR, right? And so I believe that coming in, and for us, that we're very much focused on what we're calling frontier markets, right? I really want to make a distinction between emerging development XYZ, right? Or first world, third world countries, right? For me, what crypto brings is this opportunity for regions that have been a little bit left out of this value creation process through financial services, for this to become now a shift where these regions are going to be at the border of mass adoption, crypto mass adoption. And Lucio explained it correctly, right? It is, if you're Argentinian, you're most likely to hold crypto than to hold a fiat currency. Now, you extrapolate that into allowing them to use stable coins that are stronger than their fiat currency on a network that doesn't cost you $40 per transaction, right? And now things start to become really interesting. And I think here is where we see a lot of opportunities coming in from folks and projects that are building to solve that problem, that issue, right? Which is value creation process. Where does it begin and where does it end? Without intermediaries. And more importantly, you allow people to become self-custodials of the value they create. And in that result, sovereign citizens, right? It's people that will always have control of their assets, of all the value they create online, right? And this is very important because this has never happened in LATAM, Southeast Asia, or Africa. And I believe that's where this will begin. I think Near Protocol is poised to be part of that narrative, right? We've seen that with Cashin, right, which is a lot of transactions, which is an e-commerce platform, right? And all transactions are being done on-chain on Near. So I believe that that's going to be at the forefront of it. Now, next evolution, right, which is how can blockchain technology start to be part of the technology stack for artificial intelligence, right? Agents, and then how smart contracts power those agents as well, right? And I think here there's this storage is something that has not been addressed, right? There's Filecoin, IPFS, right? Which we know right now that have issues scaling, right? And even when you have fast finality in other blockchains such as Solana, then you have the network problem, right? And I think here is where Near is really segmenting itself, right? The data availability layer is another important aspect, right? With DA, they've done stuff with Polygon, they've done stuff with Eigenlayer, right? And I believe this is something that could be very interesting play. And also on the network level, right? We're onboarding all these enterprise node operators such as Texito. We got a few telco companies that we can't announce right now, but there's going to be coming up the ranks. And then we have players such as Luganos as well coming in. So I think Near is positioning itself where you have native stable coins, which we know are the killer app for crypto. And then we have the fast finality, right? We got the data availability layer, and we have decentralizations of storage that could come into play in the AI game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, AI is a big one. And actually, I mean, Near, as far as I know, used to be an AI company in the early days before they started to build a blockchain. And I think that's why they also put a focus a little bit on that as well. I heard things like decentralized governance or like governance supported by AI and machine learning, something like that. I don't know who's building or how is it going to look like, but that sounded definitely interesting. And yeah, let's see where that goes.
Lucio, you could definitely comment on the governance side, right? I think that hasn't been addressed enough, and I think that's something really interesting for folks in the Cosmos ecosystem and other ecosystems.
Yeah, we have been, let's say, being aware of what crypto is as a transformation. This is something I say also differentiates us from real countries. I call it real countries. It is first world countries, but I call it real countries. For example, if you live in the United States or in Europe, you have your money in the bank and you are playing with crypto. Crypto is a toy for you. But if you live in Argentina, for example, or Venezuela, or any other emerging market country, you have your savings in crypto, and you have some of your money that you need on the bank because you have the risk of the bank getting your money and not giving it back to you. So it's a very different mindset, if you like.
Right. It's completely different from where I actually live. Like holding crypto is still sort of like a minority in Europe, at least. And like feels like South America is kind of the opposite because there's just like the pain is large enough, right?
No, because we are forced. It is a tool for survival here. For America and for the United States, it's a toy, and in America, it's now a dangerous toy. So I don't know. The SEC looks like they send a Wells notice to Uniswap Labs. So Claudio is completely right. It looks like the revolution will happen on the margins, because the United States is pushing all their developers outside. It is crazy right now to launch let's say a crypto project based on the States. It is crazy to see, but looks like they are pushing all people in the frontier of this outside.
Yeah, I think this is where South America maybe also can place itself well, like we see El Salvador, for example. They just announced that they give away something like 5,000 passports to scientists, developers, and so on. And I think if other countries follow suit, then South America is actually also well positioned. But yeah, let's maybe talk. Let's maybe talk now about Metapool, and yeah, what you guys are doing at Metapool. I'm personally pretty excited. I've also used Metapool myself. I think it's a very smooth process. It's you guys support several networks. It's not just Near, not just ST Near. You're also on Ethereum. I've seen Solana and a few others. And yeah, can you maybe give a little overview of what is Metapool? How did you guys get started, and maybe how does it differentiate itself from other LST protocols in the space?
Yeah, I think the first and foremost, right? So we're experts in staking. That's what we do. We do multi-chain liquid staking tokens. So we do, of course, we started with Near, then we onboarded EVM compatible chains such as Aurora, of course, Ethereum. Then we did Q Network as well, Q Protocol. We did also Solana this year, and we'll do a few more coming up for sure, because we believe that in coming from a country where there's no savings. That's the other thing, right? That the most important aspect, and where I think crypto is going to make a dent in the whole world, is that it's going to allow people to create an auto compounding savings account. And that's what staking is, right? Staking is what we believe is an auto compounding savings account. So all digital values being accrued and compounded, which is incredible, right? People will dismiss the technology as something that is trivial, but it's a tool for survival in what we're calling frontier markets, right? And so, but now when we launched this almost 4 years ago with Lucio, one of the important aspects that we did, and that Near protocol technology allowed us to do, was to run the liquid staking platform on top of a DAO. And so this is something, because we want to build a protocol by the community for the community. More importantly is that this will allow us to build a software that is going to outlive us if everything goes to plan, right? Knock on wood on that one, right? And make us the founders, not the responsible of the growth of this, but the community, right? Because if the DAO grows, and that means there's more value to distribute, and if there's more value to distribute, that means that there's more delegation. And so we believe that that's where users should get all the value. And so that's how we launched it. It is a DAO. It is the Metapool DAO. Coming right now, April 15, we're going to do a token migration, right? When we launched, the governance token was named Meta before Facebook was named Meta.
So this was before. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes, it was before. And so let's say that was a lesson learned in branding and whatnot and uncontrolled situations.
Right.
But I believe here is a protocol where communities first. That's what we want to build, and where value creation stays with the users, not on the platform, right? And so that's the big thing that is going to be coming on May 1st, that we're launching the first multi-chain governance liquid staking platform. So MP, and we're renaming, and we're staying away from the Meta ticker. It just was just a pain. And so we're renaming it mpDAO. And so going back, at the end of the day, it's a liquid staking platform governed by a DAO, which is going to be multi-chain on May 1st, basically on Ethereum mainnet and on Near protocol. Governance is going to stay on Near because that's where we started. And with the tools being presented, the technology that Near brings in, it is feasible for us to do governance with an EVM compatible wallet on Near. So that's something that is going to be up and coming. Never been done before, and definitely we will be at the forefront on how to govern a liquid staking platform in crypto. And so, yeah, Lucio, you want to add to that?
No, yes, that when we started, Facebook was named Facebook, so it wasn't our fault.
No, you never know.
Facebook was named Facebook, yeah. And Solana was $3, Near was 30 cents, all times. Well, it is important what Claudio said, and he didn't mention maybe the most important, but we have been building tools for DAOs, and now you have a way to vote. We vote on the distribution, because this is another thing, important thing. Being a liquid staking token is not everything, because different than Ethereum, in Near, and this happened in Solana too, you have the retail or the people owning the token. The first thing you naturally do is to stake, because if you buy some tokens on a network, and you need the network to be censorship resistant, and in order to help in that, you need to stake, because the more they stake, the more validators, the more distributed the network, the more censorship resistant. But the problem with proof of stake networks is that most people stake on the biggest validator, because you see, okay, if everybody is staking here, I will go here too. And that's a problem, because you reduce what is called the Nakamoto coefficient. That is how much nodes are required to be compromised for the network to be compromised. If everybody is staking on the same validator, you don't have a decentralized network. So one of the things, one of our north or our ethos is to help people distribute the stake. Because if you let to the people alone, they will stake on the first one. So that's one of the things we do. We take a stake and we make sure that it's distributed between validators that are performant. Because at the end of the day, you want the validator to be generating APY, but also you don't want to concentrate the validator. So after that, and during the bear market, we were building, and we started building tools for governance. So in the DAO, what we do is we vote part of the stake that we distribute. We allow the DAO to vote in which validator will it go. So we have the possibility to decide where the stake will go, but it will not affect the total distribution. We also created a tool to vote in MPIPs, that is Meta Pool Improvement Proposals, that we use it very extensively. This tokenomics reset that we launch now in April 15, that was voted by the DAO after a lengthy discussion. The discussion and the vote is all on-chain on Near, so that ended up being a very nice tool. And this is Claudio idea that is, I think, is revolutionary. What we are doing now is we are testing a schema that is called vote to earn. We are taking all the protocol fees, taking a small part for the team to keep the operations, that is 25%, taking 10% for grants that goes to a fund, and the people can vote what initiative to fund. That there's a monthly bond or vote on that, and most of the protocol, 65%, we go directly to the active voters. So if you are part of the DAO and you are voting to where the DAO is going, you get paid monthly from staking rewards. That is another thing that I think is important, because we have a lot of experience. We went to a bull and a bear market, so we made all the mistakes already. So in this launch, we are avoiding a lot of them. And one of them is, it's not a good idea to pay people in the same governance token, because you are creating an inflationary token. It looks like you are getting a nice APY, but you are getting the same token, and that makes it liquid, and you don't get the same. So a really, really honest way to pay people for voting is to give them another token. So we are giving them Estinier tokens for
Okay.
voting. So you
Instead
don't
of,
get
instead
an
of mpDAO.
inflationary. Exactly. Exactly. So
Okay.
it is a real payment for participation in the DAO,
Yep.
and we believe it will really be work. It will work really well if people understand what is the DAO, what the DAO expects of them, and decide to participate. The nice part is that we are relaunching, so I guess for the first year or the first one that got a nice amount of tokens, will get paid way better, let's say, because there will be not too many people to get paid, and it's a fixed percentage of the protocol fees, and NEAR is going up. So the more NEAR there is, the more staking rewards, the more you get paid.
And this launches also on the 1st May or on May 1st?
May 1st, we will create a pool in Uniswap. If the SEC is not closing Uniswap, and after that, we want to, since we want to become really multi-chain, we are putting some priority on Ethereum for the launch. So after that, after a couple of weeks or after a month, we will launch in NEAR itself, and if we can, in a centralized exchange maybe. But we want it to be a very, let's say, a small launch, small, if you like, or a launch in a single place, and in Ethereum, where the liquidity is, in order to do not make mistakes. We don't want it to be a pump and dump. We don't want it to be in 7 places at the same time. So only the arbitrageurs win.
That makes sense. I mean, I know a lot of good projects that decided to start with Uniswap basically, literally, and then go from there. So that's cool. I like this vote to earn mechanism, to be honest. That's quite interesting, because in Cosmos, sometimes, or let's say DAOs in general, often have the problem of reaching quorum. They have the problem that there's not enough governance participation, and then there's always the question: how do you incentivize actually people to use their tokens and go to vote? You could maybe delegate your tokens to someone or something like that. Or you could, maybe there are airdrops if you vote. This is like sometimes in Cosmos, but overall it doesn't help too much, and I was always thinking, if you have something like vote to earn, like is it more like a bad bribing mechanism, or is it more like, hey, that's just another it's just another tool of incentivizing basically participation?
We've tested this before, right? It's not that this is the first time we're doing it. We started this last year in around May.
Okay.
What we said is, and this is very important, right? So when we were discussing this at a core team offsite, we said, okay, so what's the end game for governance, right? So okay, it's participation. Okay, perfect. So what's the incentive behind the participation? Then you have all these schemes, airdrops, XYZ, points, right? At the end of the day, we're just fooling ourselves, right? Because if we do want crypto to be this revolutionary protocol, system, tool, whatever you want to name it, value creation process ends with the users owning most of the value. That's it.
Makes sense.
Bar none, right? Yes, the first DeFi summer and the memes exit liquid, your friends are not exit liquidity, right? It has an underlying narrative there that we really want to strip away from, right? It's not that this is the Ponzi-nomic scheme, right? No, this is a non-inflationary system where we're rewarding our users, right, that are participating actively on the governance with all the protocol fees, right? They are retaining all of the value. How do we create this flywheel effect? It is the more delegation that the protocol has, the more protocol fees it has to distribute. but it's not going to distribute for just by owning or holding the governance token. You need to actively participate. And we're also making it quite easy, right? What's the value creation? What's the main value driver for a liquid staking token or a liquid staking platform? Validator nodes getting delegation, right? And so if we put it at the hands of the users to vote for the validators that should get more delegation, then we also get the flywheel they're going. Validator nodes such as Texito will be incentivized to engage the near ecosystem and potential near delegators or your own community, right? Saying, hey, come delegate near, because then we're going to be able to distribute more value to you through the vote and earn mechanism in the Memepool DAO, right? If not, then it's fine, right? Then you get your staking rewards, the user gets its staking rewards, and everybody's happy. But do you want to earn more yield? Then this is the way to go, right? On a sustainable manner, right? We are distributing native protocol fees, native rewards, right? And so we believe that this is a great way to understand how we can build sustainability around crypto systems out as an industry, right? And then hopefully more protocols will follow suit, right? Instead of going through this flame wars in governance forums, right? Soliciting funds, right? Everything is done on chain, right? So when we started this back in May, we said, you know what? For this initial phase, we will split it 50-50. We will create a grants program with 50% of the protocol fees, and then the other 50% is going to get distributed to governance participants. And so we open up the opportunity for people to participate. Not only can you vote for validator nodes, you can also vote for grantees, right? Or grant requests. And also for yourself, you can create a grant. You can create a grant request. So we're slowly but surely opening this up, and we believe that this is at least a good try to make this sustainable, right? And more importantly, non-inflationary. We're not going to be airdropping, or we're not going to be distributing governance tokens. And hopefully this will create a demand for the governance token out in the open market, where also the Memepool DAO will benefit from it, right? And more distribution can be built, and more can be distributed back into the ecosystem.
Yeah, that's very cool. This two questions. This vote to earn, is it just for the voting where the ST NIR is allocated towards where the NIR is allocated towards the validator set, or is it also for participating in DAO decisions, like in general stuff?
Lucio, you want to take that question?
Yes, it's participating in everything that can be bought. The key here is, okay, we understand what a DAO is, but are we really committed to be a DAO? We had this discussion, I think, 1.5 years ago, and we say, yes, we are committed. Okay, so who is the owner? The owner are the token holders. That's what a DAO is. Who make the decisions? The token holders. That's what a DAO is. So who should get the value? The token holders. That's what a DAO is. But just because they hold the token, no. They need to be participating in the DAO. So in anything vote, the mechanism, let me describe the mechanism, because it is also interesting. You have your mpDAO tokens, and you need to lock them in order to get voting power. This is a standard mechanism. It's used in most governance. But we did a small twist there. You don't pick to lock them for an X amount of time, and then you have a decay in voting power. You select a number of days, and you will be bonded. You will create let's say, you will have your full voting power every time until you decide to start unbonding. So for example, if you decide, okay, my bonding time is 30 days, you start voting. You can be 6 months voting. When you decide to exit, you say, okay, I want to exit. I want to start unbonding. Then you need to wait 30 days.
Okay, so during this period, you cannot vote probably, right?
During those 30 days, you cannot vote, and you will not receive any rewards. So this unbundling time is like a measure of your commitment to the DAO. You say, okay, I believe in this. I don't intend to exit. And you can pick between 30 days and 300 days. If you pick 30 days, you have a 0.5 multiplier. Let's say if you have 1,000 tokens, you get 500 voting power. But if you decide, no, okay, I'm all in on this, and you decide that my unbonding time is 300 days, you get 5x. So if you have 1,000 tokens, you get 5,000 voting power. And you get paid on the used voting power. So you will also get paid 5 times more than somebody that only decided for 30 days, let's say, or a big whale that is speculating with entering and exiting. So I think this mechanism creates a way to balance, if you like, the small token holder with some whale that wants to speculate or participate, but it is not so committed as the rest of the people.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's regarding the mpDAO, and how like the voting for the distribution of the NEAR within the validators, is that proportionally to how much NEAR you hold or ST NEAR you hold?
Yes, 25% of the total NEAR that the DAO holds. And we intend to move that also to Ethereum and to Solana and to whatever we do liquid staking, we will increase the possibility to vote, because we want every decision made by the DAO to be decided by voting.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Let's maybe
and there's an important aspect here, Serge. Just DAO should be measured by conviction, right? It's not about how much governance tokens you hold. Of course, there's that financial aspect, but we do want conviction to play an important role here, right? Somebody locking for 300 days, it's full on conviction on the DAO that it will do its best to accrue as much value to the users. Because if somebody starts an unbonding period of 300 days, that means that in 300 days, it has lost all its voting power and will not earn rewards in 300 days, right? Maybe it's because the DAO did something wrong and they say, you know what, I want out. I want nothing to do whatsoever. But we believe that those that have locked for 300 days, which is around like 36 million meta tokens right now, are being locked for more than 300 days. Yes. Right now, fully liquid on the New York protocol are around 113 million. So it's a quarter. It is locked for 300 days. And then I think the next big tranche is around 90 days. They have around 30 million, and then the rest get distributed in between. So there's a full-on spectrum there and opportunities for people to participate also in the governance, because when people start to unlock, then that liberates voting power and that redistributes the protocol fees as well. So it's going to be an interesting play there. And definitely for those that like to play with on-chain information, I just shared a link with you, and maybe you can put in the notes. This is all of our on-chain information. So it's all public, right? It's all on-chain. And we did our best to put in a nice dashboard for folks to read and understand some of those charts. But anyhow.
Cool. Yeah, I'm saving this link here. Yeah, nice. Very interesting. I was also wondering where. So I think one of the points that has to happen in order for a liquid staking protocol to also be successful is obviously that the stake token is used in other applications and ecosystems. So where so far is ST NEAR, for example? Where is it used within the NEAR ecosystem, and maybe also outside of the NEAR ecosystem? And what are the plans of distributing ST NEAR, for example? Maybe even ST ETH, because I think that's also a large market that you guys are trying to tackle.
Yeah, for Ethereum, it's called mpETH, Metapool Ethereum. And so right now, we've successfully bridged it over and up to Optimism. So right now, if you go to Velodrome, there's a pool there. We slowly but surely, of course, natively on NEAR, we're on Ref Finance. We're also on Borrow, which is a lending and borrowing platform. And so right now, DeFi on Near, it is still like a lot of white space there. So a lot of opportunities for folks to come in and build there. This is going to change in the next couple of months for sure. So we have some players coming in, such as Spin Finance, which is an order book on Near. They're going to be relaunching soon. We have Orderly as well. And there's going to be a few others that are coming up the ranks. So definitely really excited about the next few months coming up on the Near side. For Ethereum, we've successfully bridged over to Linea. And so we're going to be part of that ecosystem soon. So definitely MPs, you're going to start to see that moving forward in a couple of L2s. Can't disclose more, but definitely, yes, we're up and running on that one. Now for Solana, it's MSOL, right? And so definitely anything that is holding MSOL in the Solana ecosystem, you can use. For Aurora, we have staked Aurora, and then we have like Trisolaris, which is the DEX on the Aurora network. And yeah, slowly but surely, we're moving towards having utility for our liquid staking tokens on the DEXs and lending platforms from the different L1s. For us, is the next step is supporting other L1s, up and coming L1s that are upping. Some of them a little bit waiting for DeFi to happen, and so like kind of like we're gonna go and solve the chicken and egg problem for sure. One of the big things we're gonna be pushing over in the next couple of months is just having our governance be multi-chain. We're gonna first start with Ethereum, hopefully test that out throughout the year, and then move that governance participation into the other L1s. So that's what we believe is going to be some game changer aspects. And so through supporting different liquid staking platforms, we will be launching a liquid staking index for multi-chain LSTs. So that's something that we're really excited to be building, and which will be hopefully coming in at the later stage of Q2, early stage of Q3. So that's so just be on the lookout for that.
Interesting. Is this index? I don't know how much you can tell me right now, but is this index going to sort of track also other LST protocol, like the assets from other LST protocols?
Yeah. So the idea first is going to be the assets that the mpDAO is minting. We have staked Aurora. We have staked Near. We will have mpETH, we will have MSOL, we will have staked Q, and other assets that we're bringing in. Then there's Lucio. Would you like to come chip into this?
No, yes. The idea is to have a token that you can trade or you can buy, and you get exposed to staking on Near, on Ethereum, on Solana, on Aurora, all at the same time. And since we are really committed to be a DAO, that's another opportunity for the DAO members to vote. What is the composition of the index? And since we are experts in staking, and we have you need to play with what are your difference and what your stronger points. We have the capability to develop for several chains, so we need to use that. We are providing staking on several chains, different chains. It's not like two different EVM chains. We are talking about Solana, Near, Q Network, Ethereum, and others. So the best use of that power, if you like, is to have this index token, to have an easy way for people who understand that the staking is like the baseline of all crypto. Let's say if the basic thing it is the basic thing you need to do, even before playing with DeFi, even before doing anything, the first thing you need to do once you have a native token is to stake it. So having that power, it is a good idea to have a token that represents a diversified, let's say, basket of stake coins. So there is not such thing right now. So we want to break ground on that.
Yeah, that's very interesting, and I mean, I think that there's a reason why, for example, ETFs, or index funds are like quite popular in the traditional world, because it's so simple, like just to buy, an index, and you don't need like to select the
To be
single
honest
stocks.
with you, and let me get philosophical here, The reason ETF are required is because you live in the old, I call it mid space versus cipher space. You live in the mid space, and you are not allowed by your government to buy Bitcoin. So you need to have an intermediary that is the ETF.
Right.
But
yeah. No, it's cool, and also with the staked tokens, I guess you are like earning additional yield from like the staking rewards or
the state token, like Claudio say, is a yield bearing asset. For example, when we started, logically, one STNIR was worth 1 NIR. That was on 2020. But after the first epochs in NIR are 15 hours. After the first epoch, it was worth 1.001x. Right now, STNIR is worth, let me check. Let me check the stats, and it's 1.2828.
Just based on the accrual mechanism.
Yes, it means that is 28% APY from the start.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting, and I never did a calculation like that, but that makes it much easier to understand.
The same happens with MPET, and the same happens with EMSOL. So you have a low accruing asset, but steady. Let's say it is a steady. It is nominated in the coin. That is the problem. Okay, also because if you, let's say, if you bought Sol at $200, like I did, and now 1 year later it was $12, even if you got a yield, you gotta be careful because the USD value of that can go up and down with the coins. But if you are convinced that this is a new paradigm shift, having a stake index is a good way to have let's say, a less risky token that a meme coin, at least, for example.
It's funny that you mentioned this. I want to be respectful of our time. We are reaching the 1 hour mark. So, but I do have a question actually related to meme coins. You guys know it's like a super, super popular topic. A lot of degen trading meme coins, on Solana, on like Ethereum, like many other chains. And Cosmos is lagging a little bit behind, to be honest. Like we are not that good at meme coins right now. So we are getting there. I also tried to research this on the NEAR ecosystem, NEAR protocol, and I believe Ref Finance is one of the dexes where people probably trade some meme coins on NEAR. What is your guys' opinion? Maybe Claudio, you can say this on meme coins. What is their purpose, and is there anything maybe interesting to look out for on the NEAR ecosystem? And no financial advice, guys, as always. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think NEAR protocol has done a very good job at leveraging narratives. Like in the past, I think in Ilya, the CEO from NEAR, got invited into the NVIDIA conference, right? And then then all this memes started about touched, right? Because the CEO from NVIDIA touched him, right?
Yeah.
And so immediately they launched like a meme coin touched and whatnot. But please be careful out there, guys and gals, right? It is a wild west, right? And there were a couple of rug pulls there, like, scammers are gonna scam and spammers are gonna spam. That's a reality. But I believe that there's this Neko, Neko. That's one meme coin going on there. There's like Black Dragon is another one, of course. And so definitely there will be this sprout of meme coins coming in. Do they pose some value? Of course, the coin itself, it doesn't, right? And that needs to be addressed, right? The coin itself, does it have monetary value in a DEX? Yeah, most likely. The theme or fans are pushing liquidity there and just having fun, right? And it's a crypto casino, right? Memes are a crypto casino. Understand the risk of doing that. More importantly, I believe that if it ties to a good narrative for the protocol, I think that's healthy because it brings awareness to the NEAR blockchain. It also allows you to interact with the ecosystem, and you'll see a couple of our ambassadors there as well. you won't see Lucio and me very active there. We're like Lucio, like we say it when we started, we're kind of old school, and so memes. We don't have a strong meme game. So
No, that's fine.
It is a casino. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You cannot recommend a newbie to buy a meme coin because it is
Yeah.
one people will win something, 10,000 will lose everything. So,
but it's
yeah.
Go ahead.
We build for the long run.
Yeah.
Let me be fully honest here with you. That is, we don't like too much meme coins and we don't like too much NFTs.
Yeah.
We prefer to have something that has some demonstrable utility and will last at least several years.
No, for sure. I mean, if you want to do some serious, crypto stuff, just look at projects or protocols like Near and Metapool, obviously, right? And if you just want to have a little bit of fun, maybe like a tiny bit of money, you can do some meme coin stuff. And,
I understand how it plays to make the idea of crypto and the chains visible to more people, but please don't believe that you're gonna win money with Bitcoin, with meme coins. It's
you don't get rich quick. I mean, maybe if you're lucky, but thank you so much, guys. Any final thoughts? Anything that we should know about Metapool, or did you mention everything so far? I mean, the migration is obviously coming up.
Yes, exactly.
Just if you want something for the long run, and if you want to be an owner, if you want to be owner of the DAO, you are invited. We are building that.
Thank you, Lucio. Claudio?
Yeah, for me, it's understand where value creation will lie in protocols you participate in. We believe that we're building one protocol or platform for the long run because we will be supporting multi-chain, right? Multi-chain staking. Now, on the liquid restaking side, just be on the lookout, right? We might have missed the eigenlayer train. We will be supporting eigenlayer eventually, such as we did with DBT technology on Ethereum. But definitely, like liquid restaking is going to be something that is part of the roadmap for this year. Q2, we're focusing basically on L2s, Mode, Linium. We're focusing on launching our multi-chain governance, right? So we're setting up the base and the foundation for us to grow. Q3, we're going to look into liquid restaking for sure. So be on the lookout for that.
Cool. Thank you so much. And people can try out Metapool at metapool.app. And what is your X handle, Claudio and Lucio?
Yeah, so Metapool is meta_pool. You can find me with my first name and last name. So it's Cossio, CCOSSIO in X. Lucio, I can't recall. Is it Lucio _
I'm simple.
Tato? Right?
I'm Lucio Tato everywhere. At Lucio Tato.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will also leave it in the show notes. And thank you so much for your time, guys. And let's catch up some point again.
Thank you, Serge. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Serge, and a big shout out to the Stakecito community. Looking forward to seeing everybody on the Near ecosystem.